All right, we're live.
We're live?
Let's just go with it. Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Is
gonna
everybody still here? Did it
um
kick them out and they have to rejoin, or is it?
hopefully. It wouldn't kick him out. They'd still be here.
All right.
Yeah, we just had to restart the computer, I guess.
Woo!
Um
Should we kick it?
yeah, I'm gonna
Take
reopen
two?
stuff. Yeah, take two. Go
With
for
it. Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is on the Anvil, episode 160.1, because we started halfway through, partway, 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
This is a show we take you behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge. We show you what we're working on. We show you some of the challenges we're facing, including technical challenges. And we're going to show you a glimpse of the future. Got some hot new terrain trays and the like tonight. This is the show. What is this show? I don't know. You get to interact with us. You get to hang out. You ask us questions. We laugh. We enjoy frosty beverages. I am jet lagged. Rich is going off the rails already. Let's rock and roll. Woo!
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't know what happened there. Like it was. Yeah, but we're back.
We are on.
Yes. Okay.
What are we doing tonight, Chris?
Well, so we're doing a shorter stream because he's jet lagged and needs to go to sleep. But tonight we mostly just wanted to talk a brief recap of UK Games Expo, then talk about whatever news has come up over the last couple weeks since we streamed. But we're going to keep it a little brisker this time around, especially now that we just lost 10 minutes to the mic not reading. And then we'll give away some money.
Isn't it so frustrating? All you had to do was restart the whole computer.
It's genuinely. So I went into the sound settings and it was picking up the mics there. Just for some reason OBS wasn't. So I'm like, well, let's just reset the whole computer then. So we did that and then it worked. So I don't know.
So we're gonna give away $50 in the middle, as long as you're not a Dwarven Forge employee. And also, just if you're gonna hop in the comments, we'd love to have you in there. Just be nice.
Mm-hmm.
We got to keep this community cool.
We're giving away pounds. Did you bring back any British currency? Did you bring back any British money?
You want to hear something funny?
What?
We didn't use, like, the entire time I was there, I didn't use cash.
Just all card.
All credit, except we started selling pieces off the table for cash Sunday morning.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you collected money there.
So there was So Mace has like a fistful of quid, as it were.
Ugh.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Ugh.
It sounds weird, but that's totally right? Like, come on, back me up, somebody in the UK. Yeah.
Wait, what? That's wild. Yeah. It's because taking all that stuff overseas is difficult, and so we don't want to take it back if possible.
Yeah.
I think last year they also did that. And it wasn't like everything we had at the table. It was just store sets, stuff that we had actual.
Stuff that was we could set a price on, and we knew what it was, and wouldn't clear out the archives.
Yeah.
It could easily replace.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
even may have taken one of Rabbit's sets and sold it too.
Is that legit?
We're just clearing off. Yeah.
Oh.
Someone really wanted the glam relief. We had a glam relief there, and so we told it we're gonna send him a new one.
That's fair.
It was very sweet of him.
Okay.
And there were no bidding wars. It was first come first serve. A quid pro. Yeah, we're quid pro. Quo pros. Go pros. It's glam relief. So let's should we go to the news? Then we can get to the UK.
Yes.
It's the news. It's the news. What's in the news, Chris?
Hey, our next restock is the list. The collection is live on our site. If you go to the God, how do you navigate there now? It's shop. We gotta rearrange these top menus again.
Some
go to shop categories.
At UK were complaining to me about they couldn't find stuff on our site.
Well, like at some point in the last couple of days, like our search broke, which isn't great. So Letitia's looking into that. Go to shop categories, restocks, July restock. You can see most of what's coming. What isn't coming currently is there are 6 new sets that are castle reconfigurations. It's 4 sets that are transition pieces to be able to do some cool advanced things with your castles. Particularly people have been like, how do I get the corner tower sets? All these things.
Stuff that hasn't been available for quite some time.
Yeah, because all the corner transitions were locked in like $400, $500 sets, and so those were not feasible for us to restock. So what we did was we just broke out those transition pieces, made standalone sets out of those transition pieces, and the pricing's actually pretty good on them. I'm pretty happy with it. Like they're all sub 100. I think the inline tower transition is like $44 or something like that. And that lets you take a small watchtower. So you get the tower and you get the walls, and then you get the transition packs to combine the two. And it lets you do all of those more complicated builds. And then there's also 2 packs in there that are dressing packs. It is the Sorcerer's Sanctum runic themed accessories dressing. There's an LED pack, and then there's a non-LED scatter dressing pack that has like the throne and the magnetic banner and stuff like that.
Yeah, the cool crest and all sorts. There's a lot of really neat. Michelle did most of those accessories, like just beautiful detailed accessories that basically haven't really been available since that Kickstarter, like 8 years ago or something.
Will this be the restock that triggers the price increase? We don't know, because we still don't know exactly what is happening tariff-wise, and so we're trying to...
It's impending, but we don't want to do it once and do it right.
Yeah, so that thing is still like a month and a half away, so we're trying to give it a little bit more time to see what happens and try to adjust accordingly, because the way that everything is changing on a whim right now, we don't want to make big permanent decisions that might get invalidated like the next day.
Yep.
So yeah,
that's thing we should have that sometime in July, so we'll be on the lookout.
Yeah, so it should be arriving around mid-July, along with the container that has Starforge store stock in it. We don't quite know when we're going to do the Starforge store release yet, though.
We don't really know the timing on any of it, right? We still have customs. We have a lot to go, but
we still don't know if something is going to happen while it's on the water that makes getting it cleared difficult or something. Everything is a little uncertain right now, which is just something we have to deal with and adapt with and roll with as it happens.
Passages.
Yeah. You're gonna sell the Runic Throne again? Yes, the Runic Throne, along with those obelisks and the wall hangers, which are actually really cool. I didn't know until we were looking at these sets that those wall hangers aren't just for castles. They also fit on the like dungeon walls and all that stuff. So basically, we broke that dressing out so you can use it in castles like it was made for initially, but you can also just drop those in a dungeon. You can drop them in a city building,
sewers, whatever. Like
yeah.
Good. You can never go wrong with a bunch of cool little dressing bits.
It's really interesting, like thematic stuff, and it's nice that it all matches. It's all like this gold and purple scheme, so it all ties together really well. Yeah. Go see the castle sets and the restock list.
Those sets up.
Yes, those sets, they're in final proofing right now. They'll probably be up tomorrow, the new sets. But yeah. Were there any other questions about that before we go? I don't think there's anything we missed. Okay.
It's really nice seeing Glamour Moth's name in chat now, because I have a face to go with the name. It's like
Glamour Moth,
little by little, like filling in the names and the faces. The best. Yeah, what's next in the news?
Starforge shipping. We've got a big batch of complete orders where we have all the stuff for them at the warehouse. I think it's around 250. Jay was saying that stuff is probably going to start going out tomorrow. He thinks that most of it's going to be out by the weekend. And then we're waiting on an air shipment of a couple sets that got left behind that should be here by next week, is my understanding.
Yeah.
And once those get here, we will have everybody's stuff.
Did the paint come in?
I don't know about
the bunker blue also.
I don't know about the paint. The paint was on the way. As well, but the paint is like being trucked over from the US. In the US.
But stuff's moving, right? We just said, I don't know, 20 or 25 orders went out originally to test it out, and then we got these another 250 going, and like it's cooking.
Yeah, so our goal is we're trying to avoid doing partial shipments and sending stuff to people twice. So
especially
everybody that we have
international.
all the stuff for, we're shipping first, and then as soon as the rest of the stuff gets here, we're gonna put them through. If we get through all those guys and we don't have the other sets, then we will go ahead and just start partial shipments just to keep things moving. But we're expecting to have everything sent out by the end of the month. So yeah, start looking forward to shipping notices starting to go out over the next couple days.
And I'm really excited for you guys to get the Starforge stuff in your hand and see what people build. Like, it's the most open-ended collection we've made. I saw there was a
I need to
post
show
from Mad Roboticist that we put up as one of the fan builds that was already doing like really cool.
Oh, and that's not even, that wasn't his huge build.
Oh boy.
That was a small build. He did a huge one. Let me actually bring that up.
Yeah. Let's see what we got.
Because then he also did fun lighting stuff with it. Okay.
It's gonna be something fun to look forward to as everybody gets their stuff.
This is ridiculous. I'm gonna go ahead and go into studio mode. We're going to go to.
Oh, Matt's printing 3D Riffs minis. Pretty amazing.
Riffs. Oh man, I haven't thought about riffs in a minute. Okay, yeah, that'll do it. All right, so then we're gonna go over to this one. Mad Roboticist like build. So this is like an alpha outpost that he has.
That is massive.
Just like put it all together. This was the first Starforge build that we've seen people do. Is that knife sharp? No, it's a foam knife. So yeah, he did this just using a ton of that, and he did like something really interesting with it. You can see he built it on its side here with the diagonals to make like a hex chamber, which isn't even anything.
Like a hull. It's like
like I didn't even notice that until just now. That's not even something that we did during the campaign, so that's just something he figured out how to do. And there's got all the pipes along the outside.
We did the diagonals on their side, but not doing an entire chamber sideways.
Yeah, I don't think we did anything like that during the campaign. But yeah, that's just like a very cool. It's a very cool detail.
Love all the pipes attached to the outside, and
and then he did some.
Well,
he did some fun lighting with it.
Yeah, this is what's fun with this set is you can use these pieces in so many different ways. Like it's really it's fun.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff in Starforge that is some of the most visually impressive stuff that we've done. And I think once it's out on people's tables and they're posting photos of the games they've done with it, I think Starforge is going to get a lot of. I think there's going to be a lot of appeal to it once people see it in action. I think we're going to start.
You know what we should do? We should put it in the sandbox at Gen Con.
Yes, we should absolutely have it there. I mean, because is that public? The Starfinder thing is.
Starfinder 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody knows it's coming.
That's public?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right? Do you guys know Starfinder 2 is coming? Is that like, there's no Indiana?
We should, yeah.
All right, cool.
Oh, God.
Shh. They can't hear. The audio's not working, I heard, right? Like, nobody, yeah.
I think I'm nervous. Okay, yeah. Gen Con has an announcement. Starfinder 2nd Edition launches at Gen Con 2025. Yeah, so yeah,
I totally knew.
Yeah, so the game officially launches. We didn't hear a thing. Hide it. Yeah, so it's all safe. They had games of it at UK. Okay, excellent, perfect.
Totally, yeah.
There was a period of time where I think that wasn't public info, but okay, so they've announced it. We're good. Yeah, so there's a big Starfinder 2. Starfinder 2 is hopefully going to be like a big deal at Gen Con this year, so we should absolutely bring a ton of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do we have here? For the people who care about the hobby hang, I finished uploading 60-something streams. They're unlisted, and I just fixed the titles, and they're all in the hobby hang playlist at the Dwarven Forge Live YouTube channel. If you look at the playlist, the hobby hang playlist should have all of them in there now. They are not arranged by chronological order yet, so I still need to go through and do that. That's going to be more time, but they are all at least backed up, and I think I got each one. So I think every stream we've ever done is backed up there now. Twitch started deleting all the stuff, but I think I got everything.
The key
in
is to
time.
highlight the Ohio episode.
Oh, it's in there. Yeah,
Okay,
just look for Ohio.
Highlight that one. Yeah.
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 Heard Starforge 2? Oh yeah, not Starforge 2. But did I
No,
say Starforge 2 instead of
Starfinder
Starfinder 2 on
Yeah.
accident?
Paizo's Starfinder game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is a tangential piece of news.
What's up?
Finley was doing the math while we were out there, reminded us that our 30th anniversary is coming up next year. So we have to.
That's next year. I feel like it was just our 25th.
Yeah. Well, 30th is coming up fast. 1996 to
Oh my.
2026. And it's basically Gen Con of next year. So we have about a year. And so we got to start thinking about doing something fun. Yeah.
I guess there was no Gen Con in our 25th year, huh? 2021?
Yeah, no, that was the middle of that was COVID.
Or was that the first year back, but we didn't go?
People went and we didn't go, and it was like a tentative.
We started
Gen
going back
Con,
2022.
yeah.
2020 they didn't have it. 2021 they had it and we didn't go.
Yep.
2022 we were
We
okay.
went back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, we'll have to do something.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, Perilous is a fun 30th anniversary.
We'll just do like a specific thing, like a something.
Yeah, we'll do something. Yeah.
But it was a good reminder. We had time to.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the news, Chris?
Oh, I have no idea. No, we got stuff. Galadoria is launching some product tomorrow. It's not a crowdfunding campaign. I don't think it's their store.
It's direct to website.
If you okay, how many people here know of Galadoria's products and like Galadoria, but don't know that they've recently opened a Discord and they're doing product announcements and everything there. How many people know that?
Live for pre-order right on GaladoriaGames.com.
It's live for pre-order? Okay.
Tomorrow.
They're doing, you see, they have trees and like the trees, like the you take the tops off and they're bushes. It's good stuff to mix with our things. They've got some previews on their Discord. I'm just gonna can I make an invite to? I can. I'm just gonna make.
Yeah, send some folks over.
Just gonna make an invite. Okay. So if you guys didn't know, Galadoria's Discord is the best way that I'm aware of, outside of maybe being on their mailing list, to know when these product drops are happening. So you can see when they're doing stuff there. Their stuff mixes really well with ours. So if you're looking for more dressing options, scatter options, they make stuff that is in scale with and aesthetically matches with our stuff pretty well.
And small company, all made in the U.S. right here.
Incredibly
like, great folks to support.
Yes. They've helped us out a lot. Was it for Cities Untold or for Star Forge? Yeah. Cities Untold.
Cities Untold. They made all this biscuit inserts for us. And, yeah, they're great.
Yeah, they do they have the preview up here? I don't see the. Yeah, they do. Okay, and then their site is there. I've sent the site as well. Just go ahead and check it out. It's a everybody always needs more terrain options, and they've got a lot of good stuff there. Good company to support when they can do it. Yeah, they have roads and now trees. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check that stuff out if you haven't yet. We did the restock. We did Starforge. We did Hobby Hanging to Galadoria. Was there anything else we had? Cities Reforged.
The what?
Cities Reforged.
Oh yeah.
So a couple things on that. First off, we've officially subtitled it. Is if you,
in case you can't understand what we're saying, it's subtitled.
Yes. If you didn't know, Cities Reforged, because of just the state of everything right now, we are splitting Cities Reforged into 2 bits so that we are doing less at a time. So if something happens, we are diminishing the amount of stuff that we're on the hook for and the amount of things that could go wrong. And we
limiting our exposure.
Yes.
To the volatility of tariff situation.
Yes. So we are launching the first one. July 22nd is our current plan. And we are subtitling it Cities Reforged Tudor Village. And this is focused on... Wow, the keyboard is really struggling.
Boom.
Stuff is just not going through. What is happening?
Tudor buildings, grass banks, and garden scatter. So quaint little village. And we have a couple of bits to show.
Yeah. Tudor Village. So it's focusing on the Tudor expansion and updating, and the greenery stuff. So the ivy, the plants,
And ivy,
that sort of thing.
Thank you, Odinus.
You probably know that we were working on magnesizing the streets. That is being pushed to the second part. That is going to be done early next year. Is the current plan.
Yep.
Yes, and ivy. Yeah, the ivy is part of.
Oh yeah.
The greenery.
Greenery.
Um,
all the growing stuff. And it's funny enough, it's like we've been pulling some of the things that we had slated for Hightown. It's all just sort of kind of melting into cities. The goal is to just get more city stuff out there and get the stuff, particular stuff that's done.
We don't do dice towers yet. People have used some of our stuff as dice towers, but it's not.
We have not made a dedicated dice tower.
Somebody had a first time chat I wanted to read real quick. I've never been to Gen Con. I'm really wanting to go to the next one. I just picked up some of the Wildlands terrain. Super excited to get my hands on it. Wildlands is a very fun place to start.
Yeah.
It's again, I think some of our prettiest and most impressive terrain. Just like the amount of detail that we got in it. I know when we first did that, like those sculpts are fantastic.
Doing sculpted forest floors.
Like very few, because it's really hard. It's really, really hard. Wildlands at last? Yeah. So all that greenery does combine with the wildland stuff really well. Do we have anything else? I think that's all we had to say with that.
Yeah.
We don't have anything to say around Dungeons Reforged, really. There was a big update to it. We do end of the month updates. So go read that if you're curious about where we're at with Dungeons Reforged.
Still cooking along, still plunging through production.
Yeah.
Should be shipping by November.
Yeah.
There's a lot of question marks between here and there, including an ocean and customs.
Yes. It's, again, just the state of everything right now is making it hard to really nail down timelines and be super confident about it.
Yeah.
Because we just don't know how long certain things are going to take compared to things are just less reliable than they used to be. So yeah, basically that's it. Should we get into UK and
I think that's all the news, right?
I think so.
Boom.
All right, let's go.
All right, so this last weekend we were at the UK Games Expo in Birmingham, England, and it was awesome. It was it's a really good show. If you haven't been there, I highly recommend it. It's big, so they said, and I don't know exactly how this math works. See if you can explain this. Maybe Finley can explain it. They said they had 41,000 tickets sold and 71,000 visitors. So I don't know what that means, but
71,000 visitors over the weekend, 42,000 unique visitors.
So some of those people, 75% of those people came back twice or something?
They came in multiple times, I guess.
I got it.
So I guess the amount of times you go through the turnstile or something, if they're doing that.
Got it. But 42,000 unique people. That's good. So it was big. And the vendor hall felt as big as the Gen Con vendor hall. It just went on forever because it was like they'd expanded since last year. And it was really, it was a lot to take in. So it was like, it was a big one. So you could definitely, there was a lot to do. If you were going to come to a convention, there was a lot. Although I do think, because I actually didn't go over to the Hilton where all the gaming was. It was similar to kind of like Adepticon's, not this year's Adepticon, but last year's Adepticon, where there was like, most of the gaming was in like a hotel. It was kind of a similar setup to that. But in the actual convention center, most of the, 3/4 of it was vendor hall. Well, I take it back, maybe half, because there was a whole area of tournament things. Whatever. There's lots of games, lots of stuff, lots of people, costumes, fun, just good stuff, and it's all focused on board games and RPGs. There's just lots of everything, dice and 5e supplements and miniatures and terrain and board games up the wazoo and journals and all sorts of stuff. So Top highlights. First of all, biggest highlight of the event. First off was Finley and Rabbit. So Mace and I from here went out. Everybody else was buckled down racing to get Cities Reforged up and launched in like 6 weeks. Are we launching in 6 weeks?
Something around there.
Oof.
It's a month and a half.
Yeah. So we had Rabbit and Finley join us out there in the booth, and man, it's so delightful to spend a weekend, or really 6 days, whatever, straight with these two.
A day short of 7 weeks.
Yeah. Felt like a fortnight though. Like,
Fortnite.
I hardly know her.
They use AI now.
But just such quality humans, and I feel like they are kind of emblematic of our community as a whole. Like just such good folks, creative, funny, ridiculous, nerdy as hell, hardworking. Just really awesome to spend some time with those guys, and really fun to see them pitching Dwarven Forge to other people. Right, so like as the experts and showing all the stuff and whatever. Like, so Rabbit did a build that because we had to ship everything out there, so we farmed out some of it. So Rabbit did a build to attach Frankenstein style to a build I did, and Finley set up the sandbox, and so like watching him get like kids to go into the sandbox, and Rabbit speaking English to everybody. It was really Yeah, he says blimey and stuff. It was really it was something. He was proper Brit. So yeah, that was the first highlight. Second big highlight was seeing folks from the Discord, right? So we had, I don't know, Finley, you should type out who all did we see? I know Glamour Moth was there, and
Shikari.
Robin was there. Shikari. Who else was there? It was really, it was really, really fun. And nice to see some of the Dwarven army abroad. So even when you're...
not Shikari, Jirok. Is how it's pronounced.
Yeah, it's hard. Made up words are hard to, so it's just nice to see sort of the extended family out, and then get to sort of give a little personalized tour of, hey, here's a bunch of the new stuff, here's the Sinister, here's the whatever, answer questions, all that. Just absolutely the best. It really is. It's so nice to get to put some faces to the names, and see pictures of people's stuff and hear their stories, and the whole. It really is the thing that fuels us, keeps us going. It was great to see people's reactions. So we had some Sinister Dungeon there, and seeing people see Sinister. It's one of those things. It looks pretty neat in photos, but it's never quite as good. Like, it just looks better in person. So like getting people to see Vertex Harder had to buy shrubberies. So you get seeing the Sinister in person. It's nice to see people get excited about that, and then seeing the Cities Reforged bits. So we had some tutor and screw. We had a pretty good sample of all of it there in a big old build. So, and that people responded really well to that. So that was always fun. Then the sort of the expanded crowd, never gets old no matter where you are. Watching new people take in Dwarven Forge, I kind of just sort of see it, start taking it, or you they don't know and they're curious, you get to start showing them all the bits, and you throw it on the ground and it doesn't break, and you do modular LEDs and you magnets. So just like this stuff, and just watching people's minds sort of continuously. It's the same effect no matter where you are. So it's super fun. Particularly fun watching kids dive in and play in the sandbox. It was funny. I think it's it's because of the locale. The crowd, adults were hesitant to enter the sandbox without a proper invite. And kids would dive in. Like at Adepticon, dudes are just going in there ham-fisted, just going nuts. Right here, it was they were sort of waiting for a formal invitation or thing to come in. Similarly, I can't tell you how many people said, "May I take a flyer?" Or may I take a photograph?
No, we want to take all those. We want to take all those flyers back.
We hauled all these from New York to just have you look at them. There was a lot of proper etiquette that we did. We needed little signs that say, please take one and carry on, or something like just like tell people what that like
if you
what
take one and carry on, you're just like
yeah, I know. Take a isn't that a thing? But it was like there was that sort of funny the proper Britishism of it all or something. I don't know. There was like this funny bit. But once you start getting people in and talking, it was super fun. But yeah, to give them permission to do it. There was, oh my God, so I was talking to Rabbit. We're outside the booth because we kind of would roam around the booth wherever so you could sort of interact with people as they come. So I was talking to Rabbit, whatever, and some guy sort of comes up and is waiting patiently, and he like rolls up. And he just starts speaking. I'm pretty sure it was Klingon. It was just like,
was he from the Highlands?
So I'm like, whoa, what? Wait, sorry, pardon me, because I was kind of jet lagged. I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm just. And he's like, I was like, whoa. I'm sorry. Just one more time. I'm just having a hard time saying it. Third time, I got the word retail in there and started to realize he was speaking Scottish, I think, or I mean, he was speaking English but with a Scottish accent. It was like, I was like, oh, jeez, this is like a challenge. But I'm like, but I had Rabbit right there. I'm like, okay, no problem. I've got Rabbit with it. I got my translator. I'm like, we're all set. So I'm like, okay, so yeah, so what? So you want to know about the retail price of? Okay, and he goes into his like second sentence. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know. What do you think, Rabbit? And Rabbit's like, just out. He just goes. He's like, I gotta not be here forever. I'm like, this is your language. What are you trying? He was like, he had no idea. He was just as lost as I was. So then I proceed to have this anime, and this guy is animated as heck and is excited and trying to tell me about all this whatever. And it's like there's a combination of marbles in his mouth and made up words and it was just like, but there's just enough words to know that it was English, but then there was all this like it was unreal, and it just kept going. And then I could just see Rabbit on the other side of the booth, like looking over and just laughing at me from there while I'm trying to like. This guy was so desperately trying to figure out what the cost he wanted to build a thing for Bushido, and you just hold this elaborate thing. And
this was the Bushido guy.
The Bushido guy who streams Bushido and whatever, and it was a painfully long conversation for just like it should have been 30 seconds, and it took me 5 minutes, and I was working through the best I could and trying to give him answers. And sometimes you're just like hoping that you're giving the right thing, but it was amazing.
We had somebody comment on the Cities Reforged. They went to the project and followed it. They saw you at UK Games Expo, and they were like, oh, I saw you guys there, and I saw Moonstone there, and I'm like, oh, this terrain would be really good for Moonstone. It's like, yeah. Yes. It fits Moonstone's aesthetic extremely well. Hamster and I are getting a bunch of Moonstone minis ready. We went all in on their campaign. Like I think there's like, it's interesting that like, it seems like we got a couple war game connections. People there play more war games.
Were mentioning Moonstone. When they saw the Moonstone booth,
it is a UK based company.
Yeah, but they would say, "Oh, this you could make a cool Moonstone board for this," or like
extremely. Yeah.
Also, like, Mordheim came up, of course.
Yeah. Well, we need to do we need to do Mordheim setups with the stuff in Cities Reforged. We absolutely need to do some Mordheim setups. I've already talked to Hamster about it, and he's yeah.
So other than running away when faced with a true Scotsman, Rabbit was fantastic. I thought he'd be translating for sure. But, all right, so what else happened there? There was, I was kind of worried that, like, I was interested to see what the tariffs, like what the effect the tariffs would have on the vibe and whatever. And it seems like on a whole, the crowd didn't seem so phased. Everybody, it was packed as can be. People were excited. People were buying. People were doing whatever. The creators I spoke to, particularly ones that are stateside, everybody said there was kind of a weird nervousness and apprehension, and everybody's kind of holding their breath. Didn't glean too much new. Although I'll tell you, the folks in Britain were not afraid to tell us what they thought about the state of things over in the States with our administration and these tariffs and whatnot.
Oh no!
Like strongly worded.
Well, I got some words for theirs too. So I'm not too afraid of that. Like
it was all justified.
I can't act like I'm not out here having opinions about other governments.
Yeah, it was fun to hear. But it was alive and kicking. I don't think tariffs aren't slowing anything down just yet out there. We what else we said? One of the neat things I noted. I wish this would sort of come over here stateside. But one of the things they do is they sell a lot of small booths. Right, they'll sell booths that are 2 meters by 3 meters. So there were more exhibitors than there are at Gen Con because there were all these little, dozens and dozens of little booths that are like 1 or 2 person booths with just little, tiny creators, someone crocheting dragons or making cool little jewelry or little handmade dice or art or just sort of all these interesting little craftspeople making really unique things. Like there were a lot of the same, right? I feel like we go to all these cons stateside and it's pretty much the same collection of vendors we see at every show, right? By and large, it's like 80% of the people are the same, or 80% of the vendors are kind of the same at the shows. Here, there was like this incredible variety because there were all these cool small creators making a lot of interesting little supplements or things, or just I don't know, just a more interesting variety because they had these small, affordable booths, and it seemed like a big shopping crowd. So
what's the most British word you heard while you were there?
Chuffed.
All right, if you want a chance to win a $50 Dwarven Forge gift card, type chuffed into chat. Yeah, go ahead and type chuffed into chat if you want a chance to win a $50 Dwarven Forge gift card, and then we'll roll that in a couple minutes.
Glamour Mess on those crochet dragons, unbelievable. This one was like crochet. Miles would have loved them. Like just these crochet unbelievable dragons. Little crocheted, each one like a little work of art. And, yeah.
Okay.
Chuffed, I heard a lot, and
I do like chuffed.
Chuffed was really great.
Just saying that you're right chuffed about something is fantastic.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I wish we had something like that here.
There was a couple other phrases that were just
instead all we got is
cracking me up. Rabbit just kept cracking me up nonstop with it. The way he speaks, it's so good. He's just like, I don't know, because he's funny. He's got that kind of dry. I don't know how to say it. He's just funny. Yeah, and it was also just. I think he was also trying to use like really overly British bits of witticisms and stuff just to like
Briticisms.
Briticisms.
Yeah.
Just like needle it out. Yeah. It was pretty good. HR Huff and Chuffed. So good. Chafed.
Starting to wonder. No, that wasn't chuffed. That was scuffed.
We were.
The start of On the Anvil was scuffed.
It was a fun reminder what a small industry it is. Right, there were a ton of people over there that we knew, like even people that I didn't know that were going to be over there that were there, and then little like things like there was a painter that we had back in Wildlands. We had a bunch of influencers like paint some stuff and post it up.
One of them was there,
and she came like running up to me. I had no idea who she was because she used to have dreads and she'd cut it off and whatever. And she was like, "Hi, I'm Julie." I was like, "Whoa, what?" Like. And then it like put it together, and now she's working at my mini factory, and she was just like some random painter that's not, just connected. She invited us to that thing, and then we there we met a bunch of other people that you're like, oh yeah, I know this. It's just everybody is. It's a very small kind of in the grand scheme of things, a small community, a small industry. And it's really fun to see all those connections. What was really fun we met there was Tomas, the guy who wrote Trench Crusade.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're overseas.
Yeah. Oh, and guess what? Their booth swamped. Same.
Of course it was.
Just like
a
Adepticon. Yeah. Like you just like cornered in the thing.
Well, I think what's so interesting about because now whenever I go to a convention, there's very little on the floor that I haven't already seen because you see the same people at so many cons, and I think a big part of that is so many of these other companies just rely on conventions a lot more than us. We don't do any of our sales through cons, but for a lot of them, like cons are a majority of their sales.
Like they missed it. That's like
So they got to hit all the major ones, and since we're only hitting like major conventions, almost everybody who makes their living off of conventions is going to be at every single one that we go to.
And a bunch of them were there, but then in addition, there's 100 small creators you've never seen or that are like just making.
When that is their local con, the people who are only going to go to one con if they live by UK Games Expo, that's where they're going.
And I think they make it affordable enough. Like those small booths are affordable enough that all these cool small creators can go and make it worthwhile.
It's a lot cheaper than Essen, from what I remember, right? Essen's like twice the price or something per space.
It's got to be. Well, it's more than twice the size, right? It's over 100,000.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, it was and the crowd seemed to be spending, and it was really neat. But what was fun about Tomas of Trench Crusade is he owns Stormforge stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, go figure. Like,
everybody. I was trying to talk to him about. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I just talked to the wrong guy.
He's like short and has a Norwegian accent.
I don't think I talked to him.
Yeah.
I think when I went over there, I talked to.
There's 3 guys on the team. Like, he was the writer. There's the guy who was the artist, and there's the guy who was the sculptor, and I don't remember the other names. But
yeah.
Is
this a I know a guy moment?
Yeah, I know a guy.
Maybe. Do you know a guy?
I know a guy, 1 or 2. Get a UV version of the backdrop light so you can easily show off arcane pieces in the builds. Well, that's a good idea. You know what Finley has, of course, on him at all times? He has a UV light like on his person.
Well, because he uses them in his LARPs all the time, apparently.
He'll
do stuff
in fact, I have a secret I can't tell. He said, don't mention this on the Anvil. Like, Finley, do any of your LARPers watch this show? And I'd ruin the surprise. He's making some crazy stuff for the years. A big LARP this weekend.
No spoilers this week? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No spoilers. Okay.
They might? Okay.
They might. Okay. It's Ascendancy?
I was going to say, one thing that's kind of fun about having Finley and Rabbit work in the booth there is I feel like they're also they're very different ends of the spectrum when it comes to gamers. Rabbit being like a huge war gamer, and then Finley's doing RPGs and LARPs, these massive.
Yeah. Rabbit's like a curmudgeon, and Finley's like bleeding edge.
Yeah.
You couldn't have a better, like, if you were gonna like if you were gonna write a show with like ridiculous characters that were each filling different roles, like they perfect, like fit in the lineup perfectly.
We're gonna roll the giveaway in about 30 seconds. So if you haven't typed chuffed yet, go ahead and type chuffed, just for a chance to win $50. Dwarven Forge gift card, not cash. Yeah, chuffed.
Yeah. Let's see. So what else was the oh man, there was one. It just kind of happens, I feel, at all cons, is you end up getting a couple of really good, meaningful experiences. There was one, a woman that came up with explaining that she'd had a really dark part in her life, and her therapist said you need to have something that's for you, like an anchor to like kind of get through this, whatever. And just right after that, her friend started running a D&D campaign. She joined, and her friend was a big DF backer, had like all this stuff, and she showed me a bunch of pictures of things. She said it was literally like saved her life. She was like, I was in this deep dark pit I didn't know how to get, and that D&D campaign, like going and seeing what he'd build each week, and playing with the toys and going through whatever. She was like, it's what I needed, and that sort of that group and that camaraderie and those stories, that thing was the thing that got me through. It's like you always get these, like, each show you get at least 1 or 2 of these little stories. It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That, and there was a guy there that he's been doing it for 12 years. He runs a business that runs D&D for neurodivergent kids and kids on the spectrum. Once again, sort of their anchor. And then it was just sort of telling me the sort of all the sort of success stories he's had, and how with the wonderful changes. He had made this really cool tower. He'd like sculpted this cool tower that was on his thing, and it's really very neat.
Gonna roll this giveaway real quick.
Roll it. Oh, as well as the creator, she made modular realms, which are these little tiny, they're magnetic, like 1 inch by 1 inch terrain tiles that are magnetic, like magnet tiles. And I'd given her some feedback last year when she was there, and gave her a couple pointers. Remember, she'd run another campaign. It was like she was just so sort of excited and thankful, and is doing better, had more stuff at her booth, and had a little build contest. It was just like really cool to see the growth and the So, all right, so my last story. Oh, did we roll the giveaway?
We did. Racket Mannon won.
Who won?
Racket Mannon.
Man, congrats.
Yeah. I'm whispering you real quick. You should get a whisper notification in just a few seconds. We just need to get the email to send the gift card to, and then you're all set.
And so then the last little takeaway from UK Games was, again, it is a reaffirmation that there is a hungry audience for a product overseas.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people were like, oh man, I wish you had some, the shipping, it kills me, or this, it's just so hard to get your stuff. It's like, yeah.
I wish we actually could circumvent the VAT by having a warehouse there, but it's.
Well, you have to pay it either way. You just bake it in at least at that point, and the shipping isn't as bad. But
and then managing stock at two different warehouses would be a lot harder.
Yeah, because there were just so many. So there were a bunch of folks that were just ready to buy right there. Like one guy had 3 of his kids in the sandbox. He's like, all right, give me 3 starter dungeons right here. Like,
each of them gets a starter dungeon.
We don't. Yeah. You get a starter dungeon. You get a starter dungeon.
Oh, we just gotta.
So yeah.
Yeah.
We get there. But if nothing else, we could show. There were people that saw us last year and were like, "Oh, I was really hoping you would come back this year and can't wait to see what you've done," and wanted to see all the pieces, and it's pretty fun. It's definitely a bunch of folks that are psyched for DF over there.
Chuck, that wouldn't even do it. Even if we move the pieces in by camel, they're still gonna they're still gonna apply VAT once we get it through the
mule.
Once we get it into the EU, yeah, probably gonna end up having to pay more. Honestly,
it's all the mule food. Did I miss Finley or Rabbit? Did we miss any other highlights from? Yeah. People weren't balking at price too much.
I saw Bean in the pictures. A new signpost looks like a peg hole filler. Oh, did you have the signpost at
Yeah. And in fact, we have. We can zoom in on that beam in a second. Yeah. So any other Rabbit or Finley? Any other things we missed from any bits I missed? Standalone. Okay. Oh yeah.
Just need to know what biscuits were. Oh yeah, he was saying somebody was like, "What are all these black plastic things in my?"
I got my Lowtown stuff, but what are all these little black pegs? I don't know what. I was having a hard time building, and I didn't know what these little black pegs were. And I was like, "Oh, those are the." Biscuits?
It was like the main thrust of the campaign.
What are the biscuits for? To stick the pieces together?
This is the thing. Like, it doesn't matter how many times we say something. There's always going to be people who just don't really pay attention.
Yeah.
Terribly well. Biscuits are different in the UK. Oh yeah, we had to call them. What is the word for biscuits there? Because I know
crackers?
Cookies are biscuits, chips are crisps. No, they're not going to call biscuits crackers.
What would they call cookies?
They are cookies? Well, I thought that they call cookies biscuits. It's not that they call biscuits cookies. Scones?
Scones.
Okay, somebody who's actually British.
Biscuits.
So you call cookies biscuits and you also call biscuits biscuits?
Ooh,
you could disappoint kids so kids are gonna get so disappointed when you say like, yeah, we'll get biscuits, and then you give them like a dry bready biscuit instead of a cookie.
Do you know what a crumpet is? Just an English muffin with holes drilled in it. According to it's what Rabbit and Finley were saying, and then you put butter on the top and melt the butter in, it soaks into the holes or something.
I don't like that.
Yeah. It sounds like you could do it with a drill, so it's
I don't
cool.
like that. I don't like that.
All right.
Should we show some of these beans?
Yeah.
Let's show these beans real quick.
It's an English muffin. It's better than a muffin.
It's already 8 o'clock. So
they were confused by English muffins, but I explained that it's just a crumpet that doesn't have holes in it.
Huh.
All right, so let's look at the sign first.
All right.
All right, so I think we might have showed this previously, but
I don't think so.
Do we not?
No, because it's a pretty new thing.
All right, so and you know what I should do? Let me get the little back, the bottom boy.
Little bottom boy.
Yeah, where is it? Ooh, ha, ha, ha.
Little bottom boy. I can't do that on stream. On my phone.
Oh no.
That's fine. Your kids aren't gonna know what that. Your kids aren't gonna think anything of it. Let's see. Yeah, we got signs. Really hope I can flip that direction sign around like in cartoons. Don't worry, I'm not saying. Yeah, the Soggy Bottom Boys. That's what I'm talking about. Dude, I haven't seen
Okay.
Brother Where Art Thou in a minute. I should watch it again.
So we got here's the baseline. So the baseline, the sign's this little guy. It's gonna have a peg in it, the pole accessory piece. And then the obvious pair for it is this little guy, which is an extension of the urban elevation system. It's standalone, you can put it anywhere, but the purpose is this, so you can put any of your pole accessories kind of anywhere. It looks really good with the rest of the urban elevation, or you can use it. I don't have the pegs in yet, but you can use it to put your little signposts on along the road or in your city or wherever. And what's fun is we're going to have a whole bunch of decals to go with these. So we did a first test run doing them on clear, and I think they need a little opaque background. But the idea is to have decals that you can then pop on them so we can have, you can give them some purpose, such as an arrow or a danger. No scones here. Dave Moffat, I think we're gonna figure out what the we can give you a little template if you want to print out your own. See, this one doesn't read, so that's why some of them need like a background to help write the. Oh wait, this is an arrow. What does that one say? Doc? I don't know. They danger ahead.
Danger.
Danger. I know what that is. All right, so we're gonna have some little neat little decals. The thinking with insert slot was it was gonna get really fiddly because they were supposed to be really small. And they are going to be a little hard to read at a distance, and that's also part of the fun. Is that then you can put a little piece of info, and your players have to like look for sale.
Yeah, it's one of those things where
because it's so big in the grand scheme of it.
You hopefully aren't gonna do anything where it requires them being able to read it from a distance. But it'll be nice for like photographs because it'll be appropriately sized for the minis and all that.
Yeah. So little sign in the works. And,
but we can have like an arrow or something.
Yeah, we have a couple, and you can point in either direction, right? We'll work on some. We'll have some neat ones for you. This was the first pass on printing these out and see what happens. Oh, we could put a half biscuit. That's an interesting idea. Put the sign, bake a half biscuit on the sign, and the goal was to make them sort of small and cheap, so they'd be good. They make good stretch goals. They make good whatever. As soon as you start breaking into pieces, it starts getting. That's an interesting idea. I wonder what else. What else would you put on the pole if it had? It would have to get wider if it was going to take a biscuit, a half biscuit. Think of different signs. Then 100 of them. Yeah, you can put them on buildings. Oh yeah, you can stick the building on the sign.
Yeah.
I was gonna show you some of the train trays because we got fabric samples for train trays and show you what we were thinking together. This is the pond. I think we've shown this before. We see it again, and it's meant to go really nicely with the banks, right? So you can make yourself a little pond to go swimming or fishing or I don't know. What else would you do with a pond? Swim or fish. Do I have a?
That's basically it. That's all the water stuff there is.
You have two options.
That's all the water stuff. Yeah.
I guess I made this symmetrical. I don't have.
A very cramped Kraken.
Hey, make a little boom. Float beggars on lily pads, right?
It's a cat. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Pull out a sword.
Yeah, you can.
That's where you put the Lady of the Lake.
Some retard can lava scimitar out of it, as it were.
Put a froghemoth in it. My froghemoth would fit in there.
There's no P in our on.
Welcome to our on. Notice there's no P in it.
It's funny. So then we've got it. We haven't showed these, or I don't think we have the dirt roads. So the idea here is that they should look great on their own, but also Masticon, there are 4 new Ivy pieces: a creeping right facade, a creeping left facade, 5, a biscuit plug, a magnetic chunk, and an arch. So that's 5. It is very fey pond. The goal with the pond. Thank you, Grandpappy, for the Monty Python reference. The pond is supposed to feel like a quaint, fun, tranquil, kind of inviting. A lot of our things are kind of deadly. I was like inviting. So the idea with this is that you can use it as is, or do I ever get any floors? I didn't get any floors. You can use the banks. So all of the shapes were designed using the banks. So you can build using the grass banks. I should have brought floors in. I don't. They're all in another build over there. If you have 4x4s over here and 2x2s over here, then it'll all line up. I don't have enough banks. The idea is you can essentially use the banks to give it some 3-dimensionality if you want to have a 3D road, or you can just use it flat if you want a 2D road. The color match is really good.
Yeah.
The Lucy's, the artists who are doing this one, do a really good job matching the color of the look, and they should go really nicely up against your forest terrain trays if you've got them. So we've got a straight. A alt straight. So the reason we have the grasses on a 4x4 base is because the city is on a 4x4 base. Everything plays better in 4x4, right? You can wrap around the buildings more easily and build in line, but everything plays better with the buildings when it's on a 2x2 and 4x4 rather than 3x3 and 6x6, and thus the roads are offset. But this means it gives you a little more building options, right? Because you can slide the road forward or back, right? So they're all going to be 12x12. These will be train trays, right? They'll have the meta and the thing, and they'll be double-sided. These are just cloth samples of what the 2 sides are going to look like. So this is the straight. We got the alt straight. It's got a little wobble to it. They like. No, I'm gonna say. Oh wait. Boom. Thing. Then let's see. You've got the big curve. The little curve. Swell in one direction, swell in the other direction, T intersection, and 4-way intersection. And then that's a really good question. Someone's asking, the dirt road looks next to it. So the packed dirt, so the dirt in the middle is modeled off the dirt from the Lowtown, the Lowtown, what was that called? Slum dirt or whatever. I don't know what we call it. So it's same dirt. This got some greenery in there. There's some extra greenery added, but it should flow really nicely. So it's 4 trays double-sided, so 8 patterns. And the logic was, I can't remember. I think it's a straight on one side, an intersection on the other, the alt straight on one side, the other intersection on the other, curve on one side, swell on the other curve on one side, other swell on the other. I believe that was the lineup. So that you would, if you're generally doing straights into curves, you have all those on A sides, and then the more sort of fiddly bits, the swells and the intersections are on the B sides.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the reason why we're not mixing the roads with another one is that we would need something. We'd need some other terrain tray family basically that also has 8 patterns, and we just don't have anything.
If it was like Brooks, right, we could do like kind of the water version or whatever. But this, it seemed like making it as one family would give you. So then we can have a multi-pack, a mega pack that has all 4. And it seems like if you get all 4, then you have a pretty good mix and match. So you can kind of do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
And then the yeah, you're right, Finley. Maybe it might be the it might have been the straight. The curve is on the back of the intersection. Straights and swells, curves and intersections, because those are kind of the same. Yeah, something like that. And also the fun thing is you can also, just because it's a straight, like you can, if you, let's see if I what's fun with them too is you can close them off with the banks or whatever. Like if you had the you don't have to have the straight just be a straight, like, right, you can turn it into a dead end by using the banks or whatever. Like they're going to play really nice with the banks, and you can also just drop a building in the middle of it, or to vary it or cut it off the way, right? So you could do like, so this one's designed like this intersection junction. You could put like a building here, and then this looks like it's just sort of feeding into a building versus a 3-way intersection and the like. The B side of the pond will, we don't have that print back yet, but it is a kind of a cobblestoney, swirly cobblestone picture with some moss and stuff on it, kind of like overgrown, quaint, kind of like similar to cobblestone, but they're not. It's not like the city cobbles. It's a little more rural, if that makes sense. You have to see it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good little bit of beans.
Yeah, it's a lot of beans. Yeah, we got. Well, I'm very excited for. We are going to have. So we have 5 new terrain trays. Right, 4 roads, then the pond / mossy bricks. I think they're going to be good ones. And we're going to do a 4-pack of the roads so you can get the whole family.
The pond is not currently going to be a texture mat now.
No, currently it's only the 12 by 12. It's supposed to be like a quaint little pond. It's not nuts to do a quaint 24 by 24 texture mat. I don't think we're going to do it in this one. We'll see. Once again, we've been just desperately trying to keep the scope small on this because we're just a little apprehensive of the tariffs and what they may hold. It's going to show you can sort of see this little light off. This is based on the, right, it's the mud from Lowtown, like similar little puddles and the like. But it's got some more greenery in there. Vegas DM, that's a good question. We haven't thought about 6 by 12s. Maybe for the straights, if you want to do a narrow straight and then put stuff on either side of it. It felt like if you could just slap down, you could make an encounter easily by putting down 4 things, and then go, boom. That was the theory. Wildlands Banks Dragos. Wildlands Banks have the exact same profile. The paint scheme is a little different. Like these are, I can get one to show. These are much brighter and cheerier. They're Mildlands, not Wildlands.
Yeah, so the Wildlands banks clearly are different than the grasslands, but they have the same base green, so they should still work really well with it. What are you looking at? You're looking at some of the prototypes for our upcoming campaign. campaign that we're launching next month. Looking at the grass banks and the kind of dirt road terrain tray system. And we're wrapping up currently. So yeah, the edges of the swamp pangs are darker, so that's like what helps kind of differentiate.
What's neat is you have a 2-inch bank now, so you can, if you need to transition, you can, if you need that, like that odd, if you're trying to work on an even number, you get you a little something there. Really line up, but they're painted. Although it wouldn't take much to, well, A, if you get them unpainted, you can do whatever you want with them. B, you could also you could sludge these up if you could either brighten up your wildlands or sludge these down if you got them painted.
So the greens do match when you get
the
more
greens on the back
on it.
Are very similar. It's the edge.
Yeah, it's just the edges.
Yeah.
I don't know if we make a transition because which piece do you do the transition with, And then, yeah, transition pieces are a lot. But if you did all swamp banks or all forest banks, it would look pretty good.
Yeah, the sides, the profile, it's the same. They have the same profile.
Or if you do unpainted, you can just make them match yourself as well. But we want the brighter, more manicured look for the grass banks, just so that we've got that option for cities instead of making it dark and dirty. We want it to be we want to have an option for a cleaner, more civilized grass, basically.
Yeah, make an inviting park, a quaint pond, a Feywild. They're good for Fey. They're trying to hit a slightly different note, because otherwise they're essentially doing a lot of the same thing that the Wildlands ones are. So these were sculpted to be much more tame, right? It's less busy, more tame, more manicured, trying to give a different feel to the builds.
Yeah, we use all this stuff for any tabletop game basically. So it can be used for D&D, it can be used for war games, any miniature tabletop game. Where you're building dioramas to play on, basically. All right.
Yeah.
Should we get out of here? We're looking at 20 already.
Very tired. Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably call it.
Is there anything? There was a lot of. I couldn't keep up with all the text.
We would be here all night if we did all the questions.
All right.
We will be able to show more stuff next week. We can go in deeper on things, and we'll do some photos of things too. I'm looking at the requests, and we can do.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll handle that stuff. We're already running a little later than we had planned on it.
Well, I blame the computer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Even with that, we're a little over.
Yeah.
The time you're hoping.
So I don't know what we'll cover next week, but we'll be here.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll do a full episode. Thanks again, Finley and Rabbit. Thanks for the working so hard at UK Games Expo, and thanks to all of you that came by to say hi. It was really it was nice to see all the smiling faces. And Gen Con in like 8 weeks, we're gonna see a bunch.
2 months. Yeah, not long after.
Yeah.
Not long after the campaign launches. All right. Good night, everybody.
Everybody. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.